Welcome to Om Times TV, a division of Om Times Media and Broadcasting. "95% of our lives are run and created by our subconscious mind programming. Imagine if your subconscious mind is running many negative, disempowering, and self-sabotaging programs. How will that 95% of your life turn out to be? Would you like help to change your subconscious programming into something that works for you and set it to attract and create everything you desire? Join Tamra Oviatt in her show Meta-Programming and the Human Biocomputer here on Om Times, where she will connect to the source energy and change your subconscious programming by deleting your negative belief systems. Tamra is the founder of Sacred Activations, a subconscious meta-programming modality that rewires your brain and shifts hundreds of your belief systems so you can break away from lack, pain, and suffering and take control of what you want to create in your life. Tamra has helped hundreds of thousands of people worldwide, and she is here to help you too. It's not about fighting what you don't want. It's about creating what you do want. And the only way to do that is to change and upgrade your subconscious programming. Let Tamra help you create magic in your world. Tune in every week at Meta-Programming and the Human Biocomputer.
Hey guys, welcome. This is my friend Tareth.
Hello there.
He lives in Glastonbury, and I'm so excited he had the opportunity to come over today and join me in person so that we could do this call in person instead of me in Mexico and him here in Glastonbury.
Absolutely.
Plus I get to be in his amazing presence.
Yeah, and it was very difficult to get all the way to Mexico, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a bit of a flight.
It is.
So we just started off and we were talking about his name, and you changed your name to Tareth.
Yes.
How many years ago?
Oh, I think about over 20 years ago now that I changed it to Tareth. I was in a meditate. I've done this work nearly all my life, but I was meditating and I heard clearly from what I call the source, my spiritual friends, that my soul name is Tareth, that I'd used it in past lives. And if I wanted to, I could use it. So I decided I would, and I changed it by legal deed poll, and I have one name.
Just one?
Yes.
So he was saying on his passport, it's Tareth.
Well, most official documents, it's either that or Mr. Tareth, because you have to fill in both things. But I don't mind. It made me feel good when I did it. It made me feel like I really connected to the source properly. And that was me, you know.
So does that mean I should change my name?
Only if you want to, because I only did it because it was given to me, but I wasn't made to. It was very clear that I could change it if I wanted to. And I thought about it for a while, then I did it.
Yeah, I like that you did that, because I like it. It's nice. It's unconventional. It's not what everybody expects.
So that's the good thing about spiritual work. You do break some conventions. That's the point of it.
Yeah.
Because it opens up doors.
Yeah, I think my husband would freak out if I changed my name to Shaw.
Well, I'm sure you'll think of something else one day.
No, that's the name. Or Tamra.
Absolutely.
I'm good with Tamra. So, Tareth, you've been doing spiritual work since you're a child.
In a way, yes. I mean, I had spiritual openings as a child. I didn't start the work until later, but I was 6 years old, and I had 5 years old at the time. I got a kidney infection. My kidneys were severely bleeding, and I was rushed to hospital, and they told my parents that there was a chance I wouldn't actually get through this. They treated me, obviously, but they said it's very serious. And I didn't know what it was called then, but I experienced something that's been talked about a lot in recent times. My heart stopped, and they were resuscitating me, but I was floating in the room watching it and felt really calm.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I was back in the body, and it didn't feel quite so calm immediately.
Yeah.
But it told me that was my first initiation into saying, well, we don't end when we die. And that was lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was the beginning. I don't mean I started doing all spiritual work. I went to school. I had to live a reasonably normal childhood, not totally. But I think that was the first opening to prepare me for what would come.
So when you left your body, did you get any information or just
No,
the feeling of
all
being
I had
amazing?
was pure love. I had these beings around me. I couldn't see faces, but I would call them like light beings. They had sort of form like shapes, but they were just beautiful. It was so peaceful. When I came back, it wasn't quite as peaceful for a bit, you know,
Yeah.
because you're suddenly in the noise.
Yeah.
But at least I got here and I'm still here.
Yeah.
Almost.
Almost exactly. Kind of here.
Kind of here and kind of there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a lovely experience, and I'll add a little other bit more to you because that made it more interesting. It's interesting because I could see colours around people. I didn't know the word aura. I had wonderful parents. My mother, when I taught her, was very open. My father didn't believe in anything, but he wasn't horrible about it. But my mother told me that we don't. She knows we don't die. She saw things, but at that time in that era, she could not speak about it. You know, it wasn't done. And then I eventually went home. We rented the middle of a big house in East London. The landlady was called Annie. I called her Nanny, but she was a lovely lady and she was at work. And I didn't go back to school straight away. And I used to go and play in her bit, you know, because it was interesting for, you know, you're a little kid, you look around because she didn't mind. I went down to the basement of the house and there was a man there in what you would now call decorator's overalls. And he talked to me. He said, I'm Fred. He said, I do decorating and things. And I was talking to him. And suddenly my mum said, lunch is ready. So I went up and I told her and she said, I'm going to tell you something. And she said, you won't be surprised after what's happened to you, because I was only 6 years old. She said, Fred, that's Nanny's brother. He died in the First World War. So I was speaking to his spirit.
Nice.
And I didn't know because it was as solid as you are now.
Yeah.
But I think it was done just to tell me that again. And then things stopped happening because I had to have a childhood. You know?
Yeah.
I had to go to school and learn. One little thing I did do is I spoke about it at school. And my mother eventually had to have a little word with me because the headmaster said, I think we better get a psychiatrist in. And she said, absolutely no way. And then she said to me, talk to me at home, don't talk at school, because they thought obviously I was going mad. You know?
Yeah, I understand that.
So I stopped talking about it, but I could talk to her at home, and that was good. Yeah.
It's thank God you had your mother.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could talk to my dad. He wasn't severe, but he just looked as if yeah. But I think that was a good thing, because in my later life, I learned that it doesn't matter what people think; just do what you do.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what they think; they're entitled to it.
I have been learning that because I'm newly married. I've been married for a year now, and my husband is scientist mind. And so the stuff I do, he doesn't get, he doesn't understand.
I understand that, yeah.
But he leaves me alone to do what I do. So when I go into my office, I do what I do. When I come out, we don't talk about it.
No, exactly.
But
that's a really healthy thing.
Yeah. And I decided I've been told it's time to come out as Shaw.
Yeah.
And so I went into his office about 6 weeks ago and I said, honey, I got to talk to you. I said, listen, there's going to be some things coming out that you don't know.
I love that.
And he goes, don't worry about it. He goes, I don't pay attention to that stuff anyway. No. So when my team started explaining that in emails and stuff, they were coming across his desk. Has he read them? I don't know.
Well, but the important thing is, at least you can do it.
Yeah. See, I have to be able to do my work.
Of course. And it should be okay to have different views and get on. I found it so hard when some people can't get on with somebody because they have a different view.
Yeah.
Because I don't talk about really nasty things, but things like this. Why does it matter?
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind what people want to believe. It's their choice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm not trying to convert anybody.
No.
That's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't convert anybody. You can support people if they want it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people all the time, always talking to my practitioners about this. Yeah, go ahead. Talking to my practitioners about this, about helping others. Don't push yourself on others. They'll come to you if they want it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I was walking through town the other day and I've seen this homeless guy sitting in town, this young guy, he's in his 20s, maybe early 30s. and he doesn't look like he's on drugs or anything, but
Okay.
he's just down and out.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so one day I gave him
I know
20
him.
pounds. I
Yeah.
had Wesley give it to him for
Yeah.
me because I didn't want to, you
No,
know,
I know what
make
you
it
mean.
like it was for me. And then I just kept seeing him. And the other day I asked him if he wanted some help.
Mm.
And he said yes. And so I was supposed to meet him 2 days later. And when the time came that I was supposed to meet him, I couldn't find him anywhere.
Okay.
And then later on, I walked into town and I cooked him a steak.
Mm.
And I sliced it up and put it in some foil.
Mm.
I said, I made you a steak. Do you want it? And he says, yeah. I said, do you want to talk to me? And he says, not right now. And I said, okay.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself, honey.
Yeah.
And and I wasn't caught up in it.
No.
But again, I offered help to someone that really didn't want it. And if he wanted help, he would have asked me. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think it's a good way to be in all levels. I remember many years ago, I don't travel all over the world now, but I worked in America. And the first time I went there, the people who organised it, I stayed with them for some years, but they organised a big talk to introduce my work. And they got quite a lot of people. And at the end, I said, got any questions? And one man said, I think you talk the biggest load of rubbish I've ever heard. And it quite surprised him because he didn't know what to say. And I said, and I perfectly respect your point of view.
yeah.
I left it at that. And that was fine. What's the point of doing anything else?
Yeah.
And then he just looked at me and didn't say another word.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't see any point in, I'm not trying to convert somebody.
No.
So he didn't believe it. So that doesn't matter.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter.
No, of course it doesn't.
And it's about just being who you are without trying to convince somebody of anything.
It's only the very extreme doctrines that want to do that, isn't it? They want to convert everybody, but I don't go along with that.
No, I don't either.
No. They should say what they believe and let people choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real spiritual attitude.
That reminds me of something I don't know that I should say here, but
you can say what you like.
Oh, it's so funny though.
Yeah.
I was this is very early for me, 2002, 2003. I was doing chakra classes once a week. I would do a chakra class and we do a clearing on it. And I had this office in this part of town in a friend of mine's chiropractic office. So I was walking down the street and I think they're Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, I've had run-ins.
So they got their Bible open and they're talking to me and it's like, I'm really not into this stuff. And they said, but these angels came down and had sex with women. I'm all cool.
Wow.
That sounds like fun.
I can't wait when I'm an angel. Oh boy, am I going to have fun. I'll tell you a story about that too, because I respect that they have a point of view. I'm not running them down. But I had a run-in once, and just one of those moments where you say something funny without thinking. I was doing a workshop in London before I moved here, and somebody said, "Oh, this Jehovah's Witness they had posters saying, if you go in here, you'll burn in hell." You see, so when I came out, a woman rushed up, "You are going to hell!" And without thinking, I said, "Well, at least the burgers will be good," and I just walked away because I don't want them to change their belief. But why? How can they follow someone who taught love and be so aggressive?
Yeah.
But I thought, well, that's fine. I made a little joke and walked away.
Yeah.
I'm not going to debate with them.
No.
Nor do I want to convert them in any way whatsoever.
No.
They have a right to do what they do.
Of course.
It's a shame, but I thought it was lovely that remark just got fed to me, Humor is sometimes a way of breaking the tension and then you relax more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell is for those people that believe they need it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't believe there's such a place.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think we when in the afterlife we do face up to things we've done, but we're helped. And even if it's bad, we're still helped. But it's not hell.
Well, it's like you have this 6-month-old, 1-year-old baby, whatever. You love the child. You support the child in their growth. You don't judge them and get angry because they make a mistake.
Of course not.
Who are we?
No. But the thing is, this was in history. If you look at it, it was used to control people, to make them obey because they became terrified of what would happen to them. Luckily, that's fading away a lot now. So it's good.
There is a lot of changes that have happened.
Oh, wonderful changes!
Isn't it nice?
Oh, it's so nice.
I mean, I would not have had this conversation years ago.
No, I know what you mean.
I'm going to turn off the camera for a second, you guys, see if we can get a better view. It's a little murky, so I'm going to move back here. We'll be right back.
I think perhaps I'm just murky by nature.
No, that's a little bit better. Okay. The lighting in here is really bad. My lighting's not working, so it is what it is.
It is
but
what it is.
It's the conversation.
It's the
what matters.
conversation that matters. Yes.
Yeah. So where are we going from here? I want to hear. There's so much I want to hear from you. And
what do you
about
want to hear? Just ask me and I'll tell you.
And I don't. How did this start?
Yes. This is in this little bottle. There is some perfumed oil. Now, when I was in my early 20s, I'd started groups. Yeah,
this is incredible.
I know, it's beautiful, isn't it? I was in my early 20s. I had a job in an office. I had to work and earn some money, but I started little groups, and I worked hard, and they built up and they built up. And eventually I could start doing them, and I earned enough money to actually leave my job, which was absolutely wonderful because I didn't like working in an office. It was really not my thing, you know. Anyway, so I was meditating, as I do every day, and they took me on a little journey inside. It wasn't just like instructions. They said, and I saw this, you know, what manifestation, what some people call miracles, but they said we prefer the word manifestation rather than miracles, and making it so big.
Yeah.
They've happened in history and they're real as long as they're handled properly. You are going to develop a gift. And at certain, you know, at certain times in a workshop or the end of a workshop, you can hold a meditation and perfumed oil will appear in your hands and you can share it. And I thought, what? You know, you do. But this is the journey. And it said, they took me back to a past life. I can't remember when it was now, when I was discussed with me. But all I can say, it was discussed with me. And the thing was this, you know, abide by this way. We won't force you, but abide by this way. You only do it rarely. You know, you don't do it every time you have a workshop. You do it rarely. And you say that its purpose is to show you there's more out there than we know. This is for people who are new, a bit like a medium that can bring spirits in and prove to people that they don't die. But the other thing is, whatever happened, do not be tempted to turn into the guru who has a great big ashram and runs things.
Yeah.
And I stuck by that. And believe me, I was actually approached years later, because I did it in my workshops, and by a group of people who offered me a lot of money to start an ashram in this country and, you know, be the sort of the guru who wanders around.
Thank you.
And I said, no, I kept it to a minimum. I've done it a lot of my life, but in the last year, I have lots of perfumed oil because I had a little statue of Merlin in my house that produced it in a tray over years. And I've got bottles of it saved up, which I use in the workshops, because about over a year ago, I was meditating and my beautiful energies, I call them the light beings, said to me, this has been wonderful. You've done it wonderfully, but it does use up body energy. And I'm 76 now. So it's time to stop.
Yeah.
And I stopped, and I still use the oil because they want me to carry on as long as possible, and I do.
Yeah.
And I want
you to do that
even
too.
so, I didn't ever make it a big thing, you know, that everyone saw all the time, because that's not how it should be.
No, I think, and excuse me for saying this, but it's true. I think real gurus aren't interested in being your guru. They're not interested in being put on a pedestal.
No.
But to be seen eye to eye that, hey, I'm here to support you in your growth.
Absolutely. Well, the original meaning of guru just meant teacher. But it's become, in some around the world, these people who they're standing above everybody.
Yeah.
And they want to be worshipped. And you know, I tell you a little story. When I first produced healing, this I call the healing oil, the perfumed oil. And it was a lovely moment that I could say it. It was quite a big group. It's in London, can't remember where. A few people got on their knees in front of me. And I said, get on your feet. I don't want anyone ever to get on their knees to me. We're sharing something. Because they'd been to a medium before me. And I said, that medium proved to you we don't die. I'm showing you that there's more to it. Don't do that. Don't do it to anybody.
Yeah.
So they stood up and were so happy.
Yeah.
You know, that they almost thought, oh, I've got to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I started getting really popular several years ago. And it freaked me out because people were recognizing me. They're running up to me, calling my name. And one night, a girlfriend and I were here in town, actually.
Mm.
And Sunday nights at what was Hawthorne's has fantastic music.
Mm.
So we had some wine, we were having a great
Mm.
time.
Mm.
I woke up 3 o'clock that morning and went live on Facebook. Oh my God.
Mm.
And excuse my language, you guys. I said, fuck you.
Mm.
I'm not your guru.
I would have said the same. I'm not against that using language. And the thing is,
Because it's like,
absolutely,
no.
you've got to say. But the point is, because I practiced it that way, gradually the people who wanted the guru faded away.
Yeah.
And I've worked with lovely people around the world, and they just enjoy it as an occasion. I don't do it now, but I've got perfumed oil I use in the workshops. But the point is, it just, when it happened, it was just a lovely way of saying, just look how wonderful the consciousness is. It's there within you. It's everything. And everyone is part of it.
You guys,
there's no above
you
or
have no
below.
idea how good this smells.
Yeah, it is nice, isn't it? It's amazing.
It's absolutely beautiful, and you're really incredible. And that's one of the things I love about you.
Oh, thank you.
You're not an ego person, which a lot of the spiritual leaders out there are.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like
Yeah, I'll tell you. Can I tell you a little story?
Tell me as many stories as you want.
Well, I was once some years ago now, I was in the town. There was a guy walking around. He made himself look like a bit like the Jesus pictures you see on church windows. And he's putting up a workshop poster. And he walked away, and when I'm up, and his workshop was called "I Am the One." And a friend of mine said, "I'm going to go just to see. Sure, he isn't." He said, "You won't believe it, but this guy said he was the only person on the planet who could help you." And that's the ego gone mad. But of course, it didn't work, because most of the people that left the workshop said, "We're not going back."
Yeah.
Because it's a shame, because he had gift, but the ego's got lost. Well, it happens to people in show business, doesn't it? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Some of them are lovely, and some of them are so ego-centered,
Yeah, they get lost.
They get lost.
Yeah.
And it's a great shame.
And that's been something really I'm always watching, because that's the last thing I want to do.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, I want to grow.
Yeah, we all grow. Yeah.
I want my modality out there, because I help a lot of people.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So, but the ego thing is just,
yeah,
it's like, no, thank you. I'm not interested.
I mean, I won't say any names, but I once met, due to somebody who got a lovely friend of mine years ago. He's died now. He was so good. He was a show business agent. I'm going to get you on 2 or 3 television programs. It'll help you, he said, but they'll try to destroy you. But he said, take my word for it. Do it 2 or 3 times. After that, don't ever do it again, because they'll go on and on at you. But it will help you get on. And it did. And he was a lovely man. He's passed on now. But the interesting thing is that when I did it, I didn't mind. It was good for me, because the skeptics they had weren't genuine skeptics. They were people who knew they were right. They were almost as bad as the people who do like the Jehovah's Witnesses, who know they're right. Yeah. And when they sort of when they had their say and tore me apart, I just said, well, it's okay, I don't mind. And the people who ran the program could not understand it. Yeah. Because I didn't react, because I don't mind. And I would never have done it if this guy, who was very spiritual, hadn't said, I think I did 3 programs, and after that I got lots of phone calls, never did it again, but it helped me on my way. Yeah. So I think it was meant to be. Well,
yeah, because the people that are supposed to be yours are going to see this, see what they're doing, and understand who you are.
Yeah. I mean, I got lots of more offers to go on other things, but I said no, because I'd done my little bit. And that was, and he said, this guy was lovely. So he's passed on now. He said, in my work, he said, I've had to do so many publicity stunts, and I almost regret it, because it's how you get people known. He said, but all I'm doing for you is getting you known a bit, and then you stop. And I had offers and offers to go on all these programs, and I said no, and then they gave up. Yeah. And it did help me, so I'm grateful. I think it shows you that sometimes, even if you do this work, you do step into an area you're not used to, if it's there for a reason. Yeah. Not if it's your ego saying, I want to be famous. Yeah. Yeah. Because I don't.
Well, no, I was freaking out and going the other way.
Yeah.
I was forgetting about interviews. I was turning down interviews. I was sabotaging myself because I was freaking out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you don't get any peace, do you? I mean, I because of that program, I met some people who knew, people who came to see me, and they knew some lovely people in show business who had to, who, if they went out, with their partner or their family for a coffee or a meal, they had to put on disguises, because people would not leave them alone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's him. Oh, go and talk and talk and talk. And they can't be rude to them. They didn't want, but they just wanted to be left in peace.
Yeah.
But they can't be, That's the trouble.
Yeah.
So they wore disguises rather than shut themselves away.
So what do you do? Because I know you're recognized.
Well, I'm recognized a bit, but it's not like a superstar like that. So occasionally someone will come up and say, oh, you're Tareth. I said, yeah, it's lovely to see you. And then, if I'm with friends or eating or something, I say, well, it's lovely to see you. But if you want to know more, you can look at my website. We'll leave it at that,
Yeah.
But I've not had that sort of where they come up and all over me. They just say hello.
Yeah. Well, I've seen you on the streets and I leave you alone.
Yeah, but I don't mind if you say hello to me.
I know, but still, you're still doing your thing.
I'm doing my thing.
And I don't want to interrupt that.
I understand, and I wouldn't do the same either to somebody. And I don't get that sort of thing because I'm not that kind of famous, I'm just known amongst the spiritual people.
Yeah.
A bit, But I don't want to if people say, oh, I think you're Tareth, I saw you. I say, yeah, it's lovely. But if you want to know what I do, I haven't got the time to talk to you now because usually I'm doing something. I have a little chat with them, but you can find my website and you're welcome. I do workshops. You can come. It's up to you.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you.
Yeah.
And they appreciate it, I think, because they know that I'm not demanding of them.
Yeah. No.
Because I'm not.
You can't.
No. Because
I'm
not the one.
No,
I'm one of so many.
Yeah, exactly.
I see us all as a soul family.
Yeah.
And because I believe, well, not only believe, I am certain because I was told it, we are living in this life. I think it's the most important phase of the teaching. I don't know if I'll come back and do more because I don't think about that. If I do, I do. But we are living in a time which will lead to a really transformation on this planet one day of the soul family of humanity as a real soul family. It's not going to be quick, but the energy for that, because I've noticed all the energies I've been working with, and I know other people who do work, the vibration is going up, but it will take a long time. It's not going to all happen. And it's not because people follow it as a belief, it's because they start to change within.
Exactly.
That's what happens.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, you guys, I know we have to take a break, so we're going to take a break. We're going to dive deeper into this because this is the stuff we really want to talk about. So we'll be right back.
Om Times TV. Do you want to go deeper into sacred activations, which is a subconscious metaprogramming process? Tamra Oviatt is inviting you to visit her website at tamraoviatt.com to sign up and get lifetime access to 3 free activations that you can listen to anytime you want or as often as you need. If you like what Tamra does and like to incorporate sacred activations into your life, she also offers live webinars, masterclasses, and practitioners training to further support your healing, manifestations, and expansion. There are hundreds of activations on her website that address different aspects of your life: money, health, relationships, intuitive abilities, and more. Head over to her website at tamraoviatt.com and experience the magic of sacred activations. Thank you for listening. Imagine becoming a super influencer. Reinvent yourself, invest in your brand, and then manifest your success with a robust spheric approach. Om Times Media and Broadcasting offers a unique and multifaceted way to become the spiritual and conscious influencer you deserve to be by putting your message across our powerful platform with its proven record of integrity and excellence. Through our produced shows, Om Times offers the opportunity to become a social media TV personality, a radio show host, an Om Times magazine columnist, and a syndicated podcaster, all in one shot. By live streaming your show on Om Times TV and broadcasting it across the extensive Om Times radio and TV networks, you become more than a host. You become an ambassador and a force for positive change. Om Times. Open yourself to the possibilities.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes.
Hey guys, welcome back. So we're going down the rabbit hole of society.
Okay.
And you were talking about, what are we doing?
In what way? Wait, it's society. What are we doing? Or what are they doing?
We're talking about moving forward and getting peace within.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's the essential thing. You see, I think we live in an age when it comes to spiritual work, it's very early days in that sense. I think we're in not in all the world yet, but we're living in days when the spirituality will grow and the structured religions will end. It will take a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm not condemning them. I'm just saying that this is, to me, what's happening. So I believe that the most important thing is to do what we can while we're here.
Yeah.
Not try to think, I've got to change all the future now. We can't.
Yeah.
It's going to happen bit by bit. But I think every little light that shines, and I'm not talking about just you and me, but all the people, there's lots of people doing things. And I know for a fact, because I've met people from other countries where they're more restricted in the past, but quietly there is still spiritual work going on in them, but they can't talk about it. Not yet.
Well, that was like me in 2000, well, before 2012. I mean, talking about it, I was trashed. And that was really only like 14 years ago.
Yeah.
So I see a huge difference now.
There's a big difference.
I mean, there's still people getting trashed over it, but there's so many more of us out there that are doing this and coming out.
Well, I remember being asked once years ago, I did a radio interview, and the interviewer was a nice man, I can't remember his name now, but he said, but surely you're doing this, but what difference is it making? And I said, it isn't about the big difference. The way I described it was every light, not just me, every little light lit in a dark place by all the people doing good work makes a difference, and it's worth doing because it puts it into the future. And I believe that's the way that it will really work.
Yeah, and that's how we're here serving.
Yeah. And there's so many people doing good work now. Yeah.
Archangel Michael came to me in St. Michael's Mount in Cornwall. It was funny because I walked around and I was with a friend of mine that was on a walker and she couldn't go up. So I thought, okay, it's a castle. I've had enough castles.
Yeah.
And I started walking out and the security guard goes, wait a minute, you didn't go into the church. You have to go into the church. Wow. And I went, okay. So she opened the door and it brought me right into the church. She says, it's right there, go there. Instead of walking all the way back around, right? Yeah. So I went into church and I sat down and Archangel Michael came to me and said, I will see world peace in my lifetime. And that has sustained me and given me beliefs that I will see that. So I hope it does happen in my lifetime.
I want it to happen, but I still take the view, whatever it is, all I'm gonna do is do the best I can with what I'm doing.
Right.
That's the most important thing.
And the only thing we can do is work on ourselves.
Yes, exactly.
We can't go out there and you can't go out there and save the world, you guys.
No. Nobody's a savior. You're helping other people become spiritual in the sense we mean it, which is to be more aware of their real light and who they are and develop it, not as ego, but as light. And that's all that matters, because it's not about I'm doing it or, we're doing it together. We're all equal.
Yes.
All of the time.
Yeah. That's so important to know.
We just have roles to play.
Yeah. Dr. Sankey says pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
We all have pieces of the puzzle.
Absolutely, yeah.
We're all playing this together.
Yeah.
This isn't a game for one person. This is a game for many people.
It is indeed, yeah. And I really do believe that we are now in an era which is another step towards a better future, maybe not in our lifetime, all of it, but ultimately there will be a spiritual harmony on the planet. And I think however long it takes, it doesn't matter. Let's put love into it.
I like that.
Yeah, let's not think we've got to get it now.
Yeah.
Put the love into it, like people all around the world are, and it will eventually get better and better because it will free people of having to obey all the time. Yeah. Some people still think you only get well, I'm not talking about terrible dictatorships. I'm sorry for those people where they have to behave themselves or else. But some people, when they belong to very doctrinized spiritual things, they have to obey it. They can't think outside the box. And I think that's so sad.
Yeah.
You know, I don't disrespect people who do it, but I just find it a bit sad.
Yeah.
Think you've got to have freedom to think for yourself.
Yeah, but some people can't handle the freedom.
No, I agree. Yeah, they can't.
They need the rules.
Yeah.
They need the box.
Well, that's
they
why
don't know what to do without
exactly.
it.
Well, that's why I think it's something it's grown up in them. But I still think that with the right energy, they can heal from that. But it's not overnight.
But do they want to?
Well, sometimes they don't. They do want to, which is why they start. But I have encountered people only occasionally who have come to groups I've done with a sort of but it has helped them.
Yeah.
But other people have come and thought, no, this is not for me.
Right.
So that's okay. I
Yeah.
just accept it. As I say,
Of
I'm not
course.
trying to make it happen. I'm happy to do the best I can.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you would do as well, isn't it? You do your best.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, you do your best. You can't save anybody.
No, you couldn't.
You can't, it's just being of service to whoever wants it or is ready for it.
Yeah.
So tell me about this symbol.
Well, shall I hold it for the camera for you?
Yes, please.
I don't know if it can be seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is a symbol I was given very early in my life, and basically, it's apparently quite ancient, but because ancient people use symbols all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of them got lost, of course, but there are still some that are found scratched into the stonework.
Yeah.
But a lot of them got lost. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 points and a center. The circle representing, this is in simple terms, the circle represents the infinity, everything is eternal. But the 8 points and the center, this is what I was given, told. I didn't make this up, and I can't prove it, but I accept it because I believe what they're saying, what I call the source, are telling me. They're totally non-judgmental. The 8 points and the center being the 9, they said to me, this planet, because this only talking of this planet because we're living here, is in its 9th aspect of its growth. It won't be one generation, it will be quite a long time, but the 9th aspect of the planet is where ultimately spirituality will take over from all the structures and people will live as a harmony, as a spiritual soul family. And that's what it says. The symbol doesn't make it happen, it's a representation.
Yeah.
But I've used it in workshops sometimes when people take the symbol in just to feel the energy. But it doesn't mean that suddenly if we put the symbol out there tomorrow morning, everything will be perfect.
So what process do you take them through to bring that?
Well,
symbol?
what I do is I go through a meditation where I tell them not to think of the symbol that's a solid thing because it's a drawing. Think of it as an energy. And I get them, I do a meditation, takes a little while, where they take the energy of the symbol into their heart chakra and let it first be there. And then step by step, the energy of the symbol, not the symbol, into each chakra until it's really, because it adjusts itself to the vibration of each chakra. And when that's done, it shines a loving energy into the body, into the aura, and then the symbol becomes a sanctuary of spiritual peace and love they can do their meditations in. It's that simple.
Well, that feels really good.
Yeah.
I have to stop.
You can keep it if you want.
Thank you. I'm definitely going to keep this.
Yeah.
I have one of the classes I did last time I was here. You did a class October last year.
Yeah.
And I got to go. I have that symbol, which is different than this.
Yeah.
Up on my wall in my office.
This is one I used a long time ago, and I thought it's time to just talk about it again because it was given to me, and I don't ever know what they're going to be in advance. I do sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes when I'm doing my teaching workshops, I do actually. Because I know what I'm going to do, it's given to me before. I have had occasions where I've been able to go round and give every person an individual symbol for their energy. But it only happens when I'm told. I know before the workshop, so I put it in the writing, but I don't know until I've meditated what it's going. I'm always meditate and prepare, And what I was given that occasionally. I did one, I think,
I
about.
wish I was in that workshop.
I did one a few months ago when I did the same. But what I say to them is, it's just a personal energy to help you, but don't make it the only thing.
Don't make it your guru.
No, don't make it an energy that you work with. And once you've worked with it, keep the symbol, by all means, put it on a wall, but you don't have to look at it, work on it every day. You brought it in to help your progress.
Yeah.
But you don't sort of pray to it,
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Yeah, nothing is your God.
No. Well, just us, of course, yeah. Mr. and Mrs. God. I always think, that's what I always say to people. When the weather's bad, it's because Mrs. God has gone to sleep and Mr. God's doing it.
That's funny. Well, I've been here a month and I'm going home on Thursday and the weather's been incredible.
It has been incredible, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, just to what we said, it's incredible, isn't it? Because again, I saw that when I got old and got the work, is that in terms of like, I mean, it's not just true in this country, but in the Bible, God is a man. There's no mention of a woman in that area.
Yeah.
And yet, he had to make a woman for men to have children, but he made it out of a man's rib. And you think, what? I so admire when the feminist movement first started, they called their first magazine "Spare Rib" as a joke.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I love it. Yeah, but of course, all that writing, everything is a man first, and woman's just a rib. And you think,
and the woman's just to give birth.
Absolutely, and you think it's so silly because it's but there it is, But most people have moved away from that idea now. They don't believe it. I mean, some countries they still impose the male domination, but here most people have gone away from that. But there's still some men who believe it, I think.
Yeah, my husband laughs about that because he says it's a really male-dominated world. Yeah, and he says some of the smartest people I've ever met are women.
Exactly. We're lucky in this country that it's not so male-dominated, whereas in some countries, of course, the belief is that only men can run it. But it's not. It's changing here, but I believe it will all change eventually.
I think it will too. And Mike says, my husband again, he says, if you really want to know who's really in charge, is you go to the mall, shopping centers at 1 o'clock during the day. Who's there having lunch? Is it the men or is it the women? Those are the ones that are in charge. The men are out working and the women are out enjoying themselves.
Well, I mean, I can only say this because I've not got around to checking it, to be honest, because you have to check things. But I knew somebody some years ago when I was working in America, but it's going back a long way. Studied a lot of things, and he said there is quite a lot of evidence that, for example, in his original writings, Muhammad never said that women were second class. It's been added on later. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not, but it might well be.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
It could be added on,
If he was a master, then he knows.
Yeah. So it's been added on quite often later, by people who want to control things in a certain way. I've never checked it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's true.
Yeah,
because a lot of those things. But that's the thing. It's not. Men and women are totally equal in every way.
Of course,
it's that's it.
Women are stronger physically.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I love that balance.
The balance is so nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
I love being a lady. I love my husband bringing me flowers and opening the door.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, it's so nice.
Well, and the other thing is, because it's, I think, gone a bit mad, but it is a bit better. I don't mind what gender anybody is as long as they're happy.
Yeah.
All that matters is, are they happy? Just let them be what they are.
Yeah.
Because it isn't new.
Exactly.
It's been around. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I just want people to be who they are and be happy.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best
Absolutely.
way.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's really, we're here, I think, is to really learn to be happy and be the creators of our lives.
Exactly. And creators of things for the future.
Speaking of creating, I heard this story from Wesley. I wasn't there.
Okay.
But I heard that you had a group somewhere in a field in England or France, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And and you did something with your hand and this crystal came out of the ground.
Well, that's quite right. It was in Glastonbury. It was on the outskirts of Glastonbury. And again, it was one of those things I did not know was going to happen, but I was doing my meditation and I was given this thing that I mean, first of all, I was told this, but I think most people, I even knew a scientist who believed this, but he had to shut up a bit in the scientific world. The crystalline vibration of Earth is a vibration that helped life become here. And it does on all planets. It's not life itself, but the vibration helps the energy of life, you know, the chemical energy of life and the spirit that comes. It's all part of one energy. It's all so crystal vibration is really, you know, and I was given this thing to be sold that I would have a that told me what would happen, and they gave me to where to go. That a crystal would manifest out of the earth, not because it was made, but because it was used in ancient times and put in the earth. And I would receive it, but I had to stand by this. I could tell people the story, that doesn't matter what they believe, but I had to manifest it and make sure that people knew that it wasn't like the Holy Grail or the only thing and I'm the only one. It was a way of connecting to the energy of the source, which is in everything. And it helps people. I only use it to help people connect, and that's all. And I use it quite rarely. It's not like it's something that above everything, because it's not.
Yeah, you actually used that with me
Yeah.
about 4 years ago. I came over to your house.
You did, yes.
Yeah, and it started like humming or something.
Well, that was the thing. Again, although I don't do it now because I've got to look after my older body, I have over the years, and I've always done it in public with everyone seeing, so they know it's all genuine. I've been able to manifest sounds from crystal as the medium. I've manifested sounds of the DNA, of the soul, of the energies, and I still use them in my work. But I only use them as a way of connecting people, because once people meditate and listen, they don't really listen anymore. They know and they feel that this energy is real. But I've not done it. I won't do it now because I've been told. But of course, I had to expect, which of course I got, that there were those people who said, of course, it's all rubbish, it's not real, you know. But I don't mind.
Yeah,
never mind it.
Yeah, so now you have the recordings of the
I've
sound
got recordings,
of the crystals. That
crystals. I mean, but they're related. Some of them they're called soul sounds, because the soul is not just in the body. I've got sound of. Even sounds of DNA, because people, you know, to a scientist, DNA is just a chemical, but it's not. It's a vibration.
Yeah,
and it's an energy as well, and sounds, you know, which can be used in workshops occasionally, as long as people know that it's a way of uplifting them. It's not the answer to everything, you know. Is
there any way we can get like an MP3 of that sound or anything that we can share on here?
I couldn't do it this minute, but I could.
No, of course not.
I can do something like that.
All right, you guys. So at the end of this, we're gonna attach a file so you'll hear it.
I'll have to get it for you and send it to you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. The only thing I will say though, this is more between you and me, because I've had troubles with this in the past.
Oh, so I can't add this to this.
Well, on 3 occasions when I did this in the past, 3 different people started workshops claiming that they manifested the sound.
Oh, no, we won't do
that.
No,
you won't.
Yeah.
But I'm worried that people out there might do it again. And it's so sad.
It won't work for them if they do.
It won't really work.
No, you can't steal stuff like that.
I've actually copyrighted them, but it doesn't make any difference. But it happened 3 times and I thought, how sad. They didn't even ask me.
Yeah, you know. And then they said they did it?
They said they manifested it.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure whatever they're doing fell apart.
Yeah, I'm sure it did, because I've never heard of it again.
Yeah.
No, I'll happily do that.
I've had people rip off my work and they get really good and then they crash.
Yeah.
It's like, this is in between you and source energy.
What I do is I always do a meditation, because I've been asked to do this before and I've done it. The best way of this is I do a meditation and I'm usually guided to take more than one sound and put it together for whatever works, and I'll do that. Okay. Just remind me.
Okay.
Because I'll do it for you and send it to you.
Okay.
That'll be really cool. It'll be on WeTransfer and you can download it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll happily do that for you. I only mentioned that thing because sometimes it bugs me, but I shouldn't. It's human to be bugged sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't mean you do it.
No,
but,
of course
people
not.
out there have done it. But what the hell? It didn't work.
Well, and it won't.
No.
It won't.
No.
People do what they do.
Yeah.
And then they crash and burn.
I mean,
I've watched it happen over and over again, and it's not me. It's like, holy cow, man. I'm staying out of that. I stay as pure as possible.
Yeah, me too.
Because I don't want to get smacked.
No. You know me, can't resist the sense of humor. But I was telling you earlier when we had a little break that I've got some friends, and we all we meet together. We have a nice curry and some wine. I don't drink too much, but sometimes after a curry, I manifest some quite unusual sounds.
Do you?
But we don't...
After a curry or after a wine?
Well, mostly the mixture of the curry and the wine, and I've never recorded them, but I'm sure they'd be very powerful.
Oh wow, yeah, I bet they'd be amazing. Last time I was here, Debs and I went out to Hawthorne's, and I had a few drinks and danced and stuff like that. And at that time, I was still in the World Peace box, where I had to have world peace. And that night, after a couple glasses of wine and dancing, of course, I was in that higher vibration, and I heard world peace is also a box and a label.
Oh, yeah.
And I went, oh my God, you're right. So it's like, all right, let that go. So while I was dancing, I shifted all of that out of my energy system, right?
Interesting.
And I felt really empty for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I went, now what do I do?
I'm not sure you quite got the joke that I meant, but when I said the sounds after the curry manifested, they were from a lower chakra, especially when sitting on a wooden chair.
Oh.
Say no more.
Okay.
They would not lift your spirit a lot.
Oh, okay. All right.
Say no more. I think that's enough.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
That's okay. No.
So
I was trying to be subtle.
You guys, this guy is so magical. He's one of the true masters on this planet. Not sticking you up as a guru.
No, I know.
But I just love people like you.
Oh, I love people like you too. It's lovely.
Oh,
we're all doing good things.
Yeah.
And helping. We're helping each other. It's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's what the world needs, and there's lots of people out there, and the more the merrier.
Yeah.
We need lots more of it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no competition.
Because in my view, one day people doing this kind of work will actually become good politicians as well.
Yeah.
And we need that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got a long way to go, but we'll get there.
We will get there.
Yeah, of course we will.
We will get there. And, with that said, you guys, this is what we're going to end with, I think. We'll get there. We got this.
We will.
Just stay out of the fear.
Yeah.
Work on your heart, meaning be at peace, love, joy, and happiness.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you have to go save the world or convince your family or friends of anything. All the work is inside work, and you can share with who wants it, who's interested in it.
I'd add one little simple thing to that. Just even if you don't do lots of meditation, before sometime in the evening when you've got time, it takes just a few minutes. Just relax and send out love and light into the world, because every little helps.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. What else would you like to say?
I don't think I've got any more to say, because everything feels so lovely and calm.
Doesn't it?
It just feels good. We'll be happy with that.
All right, you guys. So look into this.
Yeah.
Center into your heart. That's beautiful. How do they get a hold of you? When's your next workshops?
Well, the best way is the easiest way is to go onto my website, which is tareth.co.uk, and on the website you will find, you'll find the workshop is now on there, the next workshop in October. But if you can also, if you scroll down, you can email me on the workshop, and I will send answers to you and give you them. So it's easy as that. I can, that's the way it works.
Okay.
You can send an email via the website. It comes to me and I'll answer it if you can't find what you're looking for, and I'll tell you. And, you know, anything, because, you know, I do the occasional, I don't do lots now, but occasional little session or healing session, and then people can find me that way. But the workshop, I think the workshop in October is now on the front page of the thing. You know, as you scroll, you have to scroll down. But if you can't find something, just email me, and that will tell you.
Okay.
I mean, I can say.
So then do you have like a newsletter they can sign up for?
I don't really do newsletters now. I find myself more interested in just doing the work and putting the word out there on the website and on my email. And if people want to be on the email list, you know, you can ask me and I'll put them on there.
Okay. Oh, so they have to ask you personally to go on your email
Well, I
list.
wouldn't know otherwise, because I don't know them. You know, if if there's somebody, if somebody emails me, I think it's a bit aggressive or rude to just put them on the email list unless they want to be, because I don't do that. You know, I want people to really desire to be on it. So they just have to tell me. I don't automatically stick people on, because that's not.
Well, legally you can't anymore, but I say sign up for my newsletter.
Exactly.
For what I'm doing.
If they email me, you know, to find out about the workshop, they can't see it for some reason. If they want to be if they want to be in my email list for all future events, they just ask, and I'll put them on. It's very easy to do that, and I'm very happy to help out. I mean, I'm on Facebook, just in case, if anybody can't find me, I'm on Facebook as well.
And on Facebook, you can find him on my friend's page, but it's TA and then
I know
Tareth.
that, when I put Tareth in, they wanted, I don't know, so I had to put that in, TA Tareth. And if you had trouble with the website or anyway, you're not good at it, go on Facebook, send me a message, and I'll still be able to help you. Yeah. No problem at all.
Yeah, you can find them on Facebook. Workshop. Do you do Zoom workshops at all?
Well, not now. I did a lot during the lockdown, and I do them very rarely, but I really find them so much lovelier to do in person.
I'm finally starting to do in person.
Yeah, I'm doing it in person. Occasionally, if it were a group in a country far away, I would do it, but I prefer in person, to be honest. And I work here in Belgium, and I work here, Belgium, Denmark, and a bit in Holland, so I can be found in other countries. But, you know, I can certainly do one-to-one online for somebody who needs a bit of energy help who is far, far away. So if they live in America, I can still do something like on Zoom, or WhatsApp is good too. Okay. All right, good. Oh, good. So you still are doing private sessions? I do some, yeah. I mean, when people ask, and, you know, sometimes it's healing, sometimes it's a little bit of development and healing. But if they want to do it, I find WhatsApp very good, or Messenger, because it's totally free. They haven't got to pay anything. But there's other ways, you know, they can. I'm not very good at creating a Zoom, I'll be honest. So WhatsApp and Messenger work, but if somebody wants to Zoom, I'm afraid they'd have to create the Zoom, because I'm hopeless at it. Never been good at that kind of thing. Yeah, I understand. And I don't think I ever will be. You know. Oh, who cares? No, I don't care either. Exactly. No. You don't need to be. I don't be good at that. So. Yeah, I know what to do, what I have to do. Yeah. You know. There's all kinds of ways of making contact these days, and that's the nice thing about it. Yeah. Yeah. And even things like WhatsApp is encrypted, so no one else gets to see it. Yeah. So it's good. Yeah. Well, they all are. So everything is possible. Yeah. So we'll just see. Okay, cool. All right, you guys, you heard it. He's incredible. If you can make it to one of his workshops or need some help, you can connect with him online. He's a beautiful soul, and this oil, oh my God, you guys, seriously, the smell. Yeah, it is beautiful. I'm so glad I asked you to bring some over. Yeah, I'm happy to share it. Yeah. I'm bringing this home with me. Yeah, yeah. I put some on my crown, and it feels really good. Good. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye.